Over the skis. Now right there, you can really see, Bob, how the air lifted him right up off the hill, getting him down there near those long jumps that we saw earlier.
A good first effort for Ari-Pekka Nicola, 26 years old.
Bob, you can't overemphasize the importance of wind in a ski jumping tournament. As we watch him stretching out over his skis, right here, catching a blast of wind. If you look at this flag, you can see how it's blowing straight up the hill, creating a pillow of air for Nicola to float on, and he's in the perfect position to take advantage of it.
Carrying on down the hill, and there's an audible gasp from the crowd when they see a skier catch that pillow of air. 121 meters, 397 feet, 120.3 total points. A good first effort. So as we come to the end of the first of 2 jumps, here's how they stand. A great battle basically for second place, chasing that monster jump of 459 feet laid down by Harada of Japan. As you take a look at the top 10, we have 3 Finns and 3 Japanese in the top 10 positions. Now, as for the U.S. ski team, led by young Matt Kuusinen, none of our jumpers have made the second round. And with more on that story, let's get down to Tim Singer, who's standing by with their coach.
Well, as we saw during the first round of jumping, some of the American jumpers struggled a little bit, but keep in mind there has been a lot of changeover in this program. Virtually all of the 1994 Olympic team has retired, and a new youth movement is in place. I'm joined by the head coach of the U.S. team, Alan Johnson. What's the plan down the road for these kids?
Well, Tim, right now our long-range plan is looking to 98 in Nagano. We've got a group of about 4 or 5 guys. They're all between the ages of 16 and 18. 18's our oldest guy, so they are kind of young. But within a year and a half, that's enough time for someone that age with the proper program and training to catch up.
What do you do to keep them from getting discouraged?
Well, I'll tell you about that tonight after we finish up the competition here. We had a little bad luck today. Actually, a couple of the guys had some very good jumps, and had it not been for an inopportune jury decision, we might have a couple guys in the top 15, which is much greater than we'd expected. But as it is, probably 30-something is about the best we can hope for today under the circumstances. But they're a good group of guys, and they're really positive, they're upbeat, and I think they'll take it in stride and get back to training and get ready for next week.
And good luck to the U.S. team in Europe. I wondered what Elvis was doing this week. Now, for those of you who follow alpine ski racing here on ESPN, what these jumpers are doing and the gear they're doing it with may seem a little unusual. Earlier in the day, Chris Hastings took this look at a ski jumper's gear.
What I have here, I have the tools of the ski jumping trade. Very simple. Ski, boot, binding. Now the ski, this is about 255 centimeters. That's right around 9 feet. Obviously much wider than an alpine ski. Very simple design, a wood core, very light. If you notice the base, unlike an alpine ski, no edges. But they do have 6 grooves. That keeps the tracking going straight down the hill. For the bindings, it's much like a cross-country binding. You have the toe piece where the toe clips in, and then a free heel that allows the skier to lean out over the tips and hopefully ride these magic carpets right down to the bottom of the hill.
All right, thanks, Chris. Cheese on a brat. That looks good. Tim Singer still hasn't delivered for Chris and myself. And we have a few minutes remaining before we begin the second jump, and he still has plenty of time to make good. We'll be back in just a moment. Again, Bob Varsha, Chris Hastings, and Tim Singer with you for today's World Cup ski jump. You see a future Nordic star getting in some early training. For this second of 2 jumps in today's World Cup jump, our top skiers will jump in reverse order, leading up to our first jump leader, Masahiko Harada of Japan, who laid out a monster 459-foot jump that matches the North American record. It remains to be seen, though, whether it will hold up for the overall victory in this, the first World Cup ski jump in America since Lake Placid in 1990. Now at the top of the jump, this is Yuri Radelj from Slovenia.
Now Radel, he's ranked 64th on the World Cup. Had a previous jump of 99.5 meters, so he'll win some more points today. Good finish for Radelj.
Going for the telemark landing, got his feet spread a little bit wide there.
Not a bad jump. Young skier, hasn't won that many World Cup points. The Slovenians just kind of slowly bringing him along.
Those pine boughs you see stuck in the snow are to aid in the scoring process and also to help the skiers with depth perception. 91 meters, 8.5 meters off his first round jump, 58.3. The points for a total of 135.4. Now here comes our next jumper. 18th after the first round. This is Hans-Jörg Jackel of Germany.
Jackel, a staple of that German team. He's competed on a number of their world and Olympic champion teams.
Jackel trying to improve on a jump of 100.5 meters on his first attempt.
This looks to be right about the same. Again, he doesn't really quite lock those legs up. Knees stay a little soft. Doesn't quite get the power or the lift associated with really straightening those legs out off the takeoff.
In fact, he matches his first round jump with 100.5 meters, 160.8 total points. Our third jumper, Matthias Wallner of Austria.
Wallner, 102 meters in the first round. Looked like he caught a little bit of air down there, but so far we're not seeing those real long jumps. It looks like, Bob, that the air is, again, really died down. We'll have to wait and see if it kicks up for our top competitors. That was a nice takeoff. Moved right around the knee. Smooth transition into his flight. Nice V technique. Just with no air, it's real tough to get down that hill.
102 meters on his first jump, 100 meters even on his second, and a big smile from Wallner. 159.1 total points. Now here comes Marian Bilčík of Slovakia.
Boy, the air picking up again. Another long jump. Didn't look really that spectacular off the bump, Bob. But again, you know, when the wind blows up the hill, these guys fly.
110.5 meters.
Only jumper from Slovakia in this competition. Another look as he heads off down the hill.
Now right here, he's really kind of pushing his hips down through his skis instead of holding them up high and floating on top of his skis. But you can't argue with the results there. Longest jump so far of this second round.
And a big improvement over his first effort by 7 meters, 181 points and change. He is the provisional leader. Now here comes Andreas Goldberger, who has a lot of ground to make up.
Yep, he's some 29.5 meters behind Harada. Nice jump, though, for Goldberger. He's going to get solid placing here, but he really needs to push to catch Ari-Pekka Nikkila in the overall World Cup standings. Right here, knees set well forward. Looked like the knee snapped back a little bit, but still smooth transition to the flight. Look how quiet he is into the air. Nothing moving, floating for all he's worth. Beautiful toe mark landing. That'll get great style points.
He improves to 113 meters, 371 feet, 200.3 points. He is now the provisional leader, but with lots of great jumpers still to come. Here is Ralf Gebstedt from Germany, 15th after the first jump.
That was with a jump of 109.5 meters. Powerful long jump. Looks like he's hanging back a little bit. Never really seemed to quite rotate over the top of his skis. Was just kind of hanging a little bit behind. Let's see if we can see what happens on the end here. It looked like he came up a little bit high with the shoulders. Kind of fell through with the hips, but a good jump, but not good enough.
111 meters. Total points, 194.9. Not enough to overtake Goldberger. And now from France, Nicolas Dessoum.
Dessoum had a first round jump of 110.5 meters. Disappointing ride right there. And it shows right there on his face.
Distance 79 meters, 79 meters, 259 feet, going 66 meters.
Looked like, Bob, that his takeoff, his timing was just a little late there and never got the power, never got on top of the air.
Not a good landing either. Just 79 meters, 132.1 points. He is a very disappointed young Frenchman. The V technique you see the skiers use was invented back in 1989 by Swede Jan Bokla and has revolutionized the sport. Here is Arve Vorvik of Norway.
He had a first round jump of 110.5 meters. Looked a little short of that there.
13th after the first jump, with a jump 110.5 meters. Well short this time around.
Looked good on the in-run position, but didn't really quite snap it off the end. Came off a little flat, didn't get the air underneath his skis, and just kind of plunked it down there early.
Not a good telemark landing either. 90 meters the jump, with style points 156.9 total, well short of what he needs. Now up on the start bar, our 12th place jumper after his first attempt, Roar Jokosøy from Norway.
This is Roar's 4th year on the World Cup, his best year so far. He's already notched a 2nd place finish in Planica. Ah, beautiful jump. I'll tell you what, this is going to be another top finish for Jokosøy.
I saw him drag the tails of his skis. That's not important. They are measured, the jumps are measured according to where the skier's boots are when the skis flatten out on the slope.
Right here, right in between the V, doing a little steering with that right arm. And again, just like in that first round, gets a little crooked right before the landing, Bob, and I think that's costing him a couple meters.
116 meters, a very good jump. 211.4 points. He is the new leader. Now here comes Finn Jani Ahonen.
Ahonen, the 18-year-old from Finland. He's coming into this round in 11th place. Let's see if he can improve on that position. Long jump, stylish telemark. That should put him into the lead.
Another look as he flies off that 10-degree pitch on the very edge of the jump, and then a pitch of up to 38 degrees on the outrun. 117 meters, 216.4 points. He is the new leader. Now one of his countrymen, Jani Soininen.
Soininen in 10th place here. He notched his first World Cup victory in Engelberg, Switzerland earlier this year. However, he will not notch his 2nd World Cup victory today, Bob.
No, well under 100 meters, and he is very dejected. The Finns working today without countryman Mika Laitinen, who was 1st or 2nd in 7 of the first 9 competitions this year before suffering numerous injuries in a practice fall. He is out for the year. There you see Jani Ahonen appears to be in pretty good spirits. There is his countryman Jani Soininen, who I'm not sure shares his sentiments at this point. Plenty of action still to come and lots of fans enjoying it here at Iron Mountain. Stand by for more. The top 9 jumpers in our first round coming up when we return. Stay with us. Continuing with our 2nd of 2 jumps in today's World Cup competition. This is Hiroya Saito of Japan.
That's right, Bob. Saito went 119 in his first round. Good height. Nice jump. We haven't seen that many long jumps here in the 2nd round. That looks like a very competitive jump. I imagine that'll put him into 1st place.
See the concentration written on his face. 55 miles an hour at the end of the jump. And launching into space, trying to get every available inch down the slope before touching down.
Next jumper, number 54.
His jump 113.5 meters, 218.5 total points on the day, and he is the new leader. But there are more jumpers still to come. This is Espen Bredesen of Norway, 8th after the first jump.
Bredesen had a first-round jump of 118.5 meters. Needs to go right around 115 to take the lead here from Saito. That looks awful close.
Cowbell's a tradition in skiing sports. In fact, they've added a twist here at Iron Mountain. Folks honk the horns of their cars out in the parking lot. It gets too cold, one out, sit in your pickup truck, and honk your horn to congratulate a good effort.
This is kind of an interesting angle here. We can see how Espen Bredesen is really kind of tilted off to the right-hand side there, really using that right leg more than the left leg, it looks like. Right shoulder up much higher than the left shoulder. This kind of gives him not quite a symmetrical look in the air here. Still manages to squeeze this down to 114 meters, however.
So former world and Olympic champion. He knows how to get the job done. 114 meters on that jump. And his point total of 221 for the day moves him into the lead. comes Reinhard Schwarzenberger of Austria.
Schwarzenberger, a two-time winner here on the World Cup circuit. 121 meters the first round. Comes up a little short on that ride. Not quite as long as Bredesen or Saito. We'll have to wait for the distance. Reinhard is showing us some excellent V technique, however. Now take a look here. Perfect symmetry. Back in 5-10 years ago, when they were skiing with their skis parallel, the skis would be up like this, and you can see the surface area they had to float on. Not that great. Now look at the surface area that Reinhard has here to float on. Much, much greater. The result is much longer jumps for these youngsters using the V technique.
And unlike years ago when the ski jumpers were big, burly athletes, now they are small, jockey-like men who float well on those currents, wearing those plastic foam suits. Disappointing jump for Schwarzenberger, 102.5 meters, 199.3 points. He will not break into the lead.
People were here yesterday in great numbers.
Here's a look at our current standings. Espen Bredesen of Norway, currently atop the charts, but we still have our top 5 jumpers from the first round still to make their second attempts. We'll be back to show them to you when we return, so stay with us.
That just sealed his best finish ever in a World Cup event. That might even be good enough to get him on the podium.
120 meters on his first jump, and this one looks like it might be longer.
Yeah, let's take a look at this in slow motion. Notice how he has the full leg extension off the takeoff, creating tremendous powers. His shoulders stay low and keep moving forward as he rotates over the tip of his skis. Fantastic technique. This kid's just been on fire all day today. Little tip music right there, but he never even flinches, just keeps right on going after it. Great job. Here he is, just totally relaxed, laying out fully extended over his skis. What a beautiful jump for Malish.
And with another Winter Olympics just around the corner in Nagano, Japan, this is a very significant season for these athletes. There you see his scores: 123-meter jump, 238.9 points, by far his best ever. He is the current leader, but here comes the World Cup leader to this point, Ari-Pekka Nikola of Finland.
121 meters. It looked like he came up a little bit high with his shoulders on that jump. Nice ride, but didn't make it down as far as Malish.
Distance 116 meters.
Right here off the end, he kind of picks up with his shoulders right there, kind of brings up, loses his airspeed, doesn't quite get the rotation over the skis that he had on that first jump. It's a little bit behind, and being a little bit behind in a World Cup is too much.
116 meters, 230.6 total points, not enough to overcome Malish. Boy, what a thing it would be for Adam Malish to win this competition. Now here comes Timo Savolainen of Finland.
Another young guy. Hasn't really proven himself on the World Cup Tour yet, but looks like today's the day.
Might have lost just a little bit of style points on that landing, not the classic telemark with one foot in front of the other.
Keeps his shoulders really low, fully extended, legs locked up tight, arms right to the side. Yep, loses that ski on the landing, as you mentioned.
117.5 meters on the jump, but just 112 points. He comes up 2.6 points short of Malish's total. Visitors welcome, and we have plenty of them this weekend. The best ski jumpers in the world, and only 2 remain. Stay with us.
Remember, go for the cup.
From Iron Mountain, Michigan is being brought to you by 100% Colombian Coffee, tour sponsor of the Café de Colombia Ski World Cup. Down to our final 2 jumpers. Bob Varsha, Chris Hastings with you. This is Primož Paterka of Slovenia.
Paterka, just 16 years old, really burst onto the scene 3 weeks ago in Zakopane, where he finished first and second in World Cups. This is just amazing. We've got 2 guys here that can't even drive a car that are going to be in the top 5.
Good thing we're not giving one away as first prize. A little bit shorter than what he wanted. He went 127 meters on his first jump. Nothing close to that this time.
Geez, he's so light on his skis. Big V. Guy just floats like there's no tomorrow.
And that jump 114.5 meters, 232.2 points, not enough to move into the lead. And now our final jumper, the man who went 140 meters on his first jump. This is Masahiko Harada.
Now Harada had a victory practically wrapped up this morning and failed to finish it. Let's see what he does. Right for the jugular. Way to go, Masahiko. Bob, I was a little nervous watching him this time after he dropped the ball this morning. Had 11-point lead and slipped back to 7th, but no way he was going to let that happen again this afternoon. He was clearly the best on the hill today.
There you see him stretching it out. Once again, getting a lot more height on the way down the hill than the other jumpers.
It almost looks like he's skiing on a whole nother jump than everyone else. Just overpowered the field today.
Hey, hey, hey!
That's one happy camper right there. I'm sure he was really disappointed after the morning's competition. It's great to see him come back this way.
And he produces the best jump of the second round as well. 124.5 meters, 274.1 total points. No touching. Masahiko Harada today, as he makes his way up for his own informal podium ceremony. I mentioned earlier that the Japanese have the largest contingent of jumpers here, 10 in all. And as host of the next Winter Olympics in Nagano in 1996, it appears that the Japanese jumpers are stronger than ever, Chris.
Yeah, and the fact that they're bringing 10 along, you know, you can tell they're trying to develop a big crew here, and then they'll pick the wheat from the chaff when it comes right down to it in 98.
Slight bow to the crowd. A very happy winner, Masahiko Harada. Here's a look at our final standings. Harada with a runaway victory over Malish. Best performance by far in his young World Cup career. Savolainen of Finland, Peterka of Slovenia, and Nikola of Finland. The overall World Cup leader, solidifying his grip on a possible 1996 championship. As far as the Americans go, Matt Kusanen finished 38th, Casey Colby 46th, Brendan Duran 47th, Randy Weber 49th, and Taylor Hoffman 58th. Here's Tim Singer with our winner.
Well, Masahiko Harada not only beat the competition, he just about beat the North American record, tying the North American record. What makes your jumper, coach, go so far?
今のところね、北アメリカレコードを出したのをね、どういうふうにそういうふうに作ったかっていうんだけど、どうする？
いや、嬉しいですよね。って言えばいいですよ。
Happy and satisfied.
But what makes him go so far? What was it that soared him into space today?
Too much training every day.
Not too much, just enough, right?
Yeah, enough training.
Now, he says he speaks a little English. Masahiko, how do you feel?
いや、もうとっても嬉しいですよ。
English, how do you feel?
Very happy. Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you, Tim. Congratulations indeed. Chris Hastings, your final thoughts.
Well, Bob, I got to tell you, I was really impressed with the U.S. team. They didn't make the cut, but they had some great rides in training, and they had some great rides they called back today. I think they're on the right track.
Bodes well for the future. For Chris and Tim, I'm Bob Varsha. So long, everyone.
Your room.
I lost all sense of time as the bird flew.